Title: Criminal Gods. In the heart of an ancient African village nestled between towering baobab trees and wide savanna plains, whispers of gods once revered had now become rumors of fear. Messiah, a man whose name meant sixth sun, stood under the shadow of the sacred tree, his broad shoulders tense as the air crackled with anticipation. His village, Abasomes, had always lived in harmony with the spiritual world, believing that their gods watched over them, protecting them from droughts, disease, and war. But lately, the gods were no longer protectors, they were criminals. Messiah was the hunter in his family, a man used to the chase, to the adrenaline rush of a hunt, but nothing could prepare him for what he had discovered deep in the forest. The old shrines were no longer shrines. They had become something darker, defiled by malevolent forces. People had started disappearing. First, it was just a couple of children, gone without a trace, then livestock, and now entire families. And always the same sign was left behind, a single white feather smeared with blood. The village elders whispered in their huts, unwilling to face the truth, but Messiah knew the answer lay within the heart of the forest. The gods had turned rogue. A rumble of thunder echoed across the plains as dark clouds rolled over the village. It wasn't just a storm, it was something more. The skies always seemed darker since the disappearances started. The birds no longer sang their morning songs, and the hyenas howled during the day, a clear sign that the balance between the living and the spiritual realms had been broken. Messiah adjusted the spear strapped to his back and tightened the leather binding of his sandals. The elders refused to act, but he could no longer wait. He had to confront whatever dark forces had awakened. The village needed answers, and Messiah would find them, no matter the cost. The walk to the shrine took Messiah deep into the forest itself. It was slow, deliberate, like the heartbeat of once sacred shrine of the forest god, Anance, now lay in ruins. Stone pillars were broken, their intricate carvings lost to time, and the altar was defaced, smeared with red markings that had no place in their tradition. But more disturbing was the figure sitting atop the crumbled altar. His body twisted unnaturally, skin cracked and darkened as though burned by some otherworldly fire. His eyes glowed faintly, and in his hand was the same white feather, slick with fresh blood. "You shouldn't have come here, Messiah," the man said, his voice distorted, like the echo of many voices. The gods no longer answer to the living. Messiah's grip on his spear tightened, the weight of the moment heavy on his shoulders. He had faced beasts before, but never had he confronted something that was both human and godlike. The man's grin widened, revealing teeth too sharp for a human mouth. "We are the forgotten gods," the man continued, rising from the altar. "We take what is owed." Messiah lunged forward, spear poised to strike, but the man moved with unnatural speed, vanishing into the shadows of the shrine. The ground trembled, as if the very earth was afraid of what lurked in the darkness. The battle between Messiah and the rogue gods would be a hunt unlike any he had known. He could feel the weight of ancestral eyes upon him, watching from the spirit realm. Would they guide him, or had they, too, turned against the living? Only time would tell, but Messiah knew one thing. The gods could be criminals, but they bled like men.